So what's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into a battle of love. So when I first looked at the Gemini 2 palette, I didn't think about my LYS Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette, but after using it, I was like, yeah, this gives me vibes of that. But I feel like that has a black in it that I need and doesn't have as many of these light shades that I don't need, so I'd have preferred. But I understand why they didn't put a black in this one, because obviously the black is in the original Gemini, so how many blacks do you need? But it's like, how many greens do I need? Not say I mean, but you know, to me this is like half of the Gemini and then like half of Gemini 2. So I felt like it'd be fun if we did a cute little battle of love with both of these palettes. Y'all know I live for a battle of love. So we're gonna do a battle of love between Gemini 2 and LYS Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette. So let's get started. So y'all know the Gemini 2 is $58. If hopefully you caught it during the Sephora sale, because girl, she's not cheap. She's a high maintenance type of gal. I don't remember how much the LYS Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette was though. So don't ask. I'm not even 100% sure on that one. I'm trying to look it up now. But I got like 500 windows open, so give me a minute. Okay, people are selling on Bakerie for like $56 and $58. You see, can I turn this into US dollars on their page? So they don't let me turn it into US dollars, but it's 28.98 euros for this palette. I don't know what that translates into. My hold on, here it is. Sorry, USD. That's $39 for the Meet Me in the Underworld, and it's $58 for female cosmetics. So I have videos on both of them. I will try to make sure I link them above, but let's get into it. Let me zoom you on in, girl. If you're curious of what's my eyes right now, I just got done with the Artist Couture Supreme Mauves palette. If y'all didn't know, mauves are like my favorite neutral tones to wear. So I'm so excited that everybody's coming out with rose palettes, so that way I have my everyday palettes now, the way everybody else had their everyday neutral brown, cool tone, warm tone brown palettes. For like 500 years, people finally seeing my way other than mother. So thank you. I'm just hoping I don't get too overwhelmed. And I'm like, look, everybody start making rose palettes now. But I'm happy with it for now, and I'm gonna go off camera now and get my eyes prepped and look at these colors for a little bit so I can figure out what we're gonna do with what, and I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Okay, y'all, so I decided we're gonna use these shades to go with the look we're gonna do for the battle of the. I had to mix two shades of the LYS Cosmetics to get this color. This is the shade Haze. And then I took this shade here, Melody, because all these shades are somewhat similar to the one in the Melt Cosmetics one. And this is the deepest green they had in the LYS palette, so I'm going to have to use that. And this is the Melt shade. And then we're going to take this shade from the LYS Cosmetics palette, put it in the inner corner, because there are no shades in the Melt one that will match. Stop sitting on my legs so you can actually see me better. Okay, there we go. So let's get started. I grabbed like 4 brushes out, but I know I need some more than that. But I'll probably just try to grab it as I go. Let me grab at least a couple of shades to dust over with it right now though. So I'll try to grab similar brushes so that I didn't have the issue of, you know, having too many different brushes. So I'm gonna start off with the Gemini palette. So Gemini is gonna be this eye. Sorry, Gemini 2 is gonna be this eye, and then LYS will be that eye. So stop blowing into my lid on top of this. So I'm taking LX Queen, which is the darkest burgundy shade in this palette, and I'm just putting this over the Natasha Denona eye base. And like the funny thing was, I didn't even think about this palette when I initially got the Gemini palette to show y'all. So I will be showing this on my IG though, when I do my IG of this. But I had left this here because I wanted to. Once I realized I need to do a battle of love. Nor the, oh, thanks, you can't see it, thank God, because I was going to say, nor the brush me in different colors. I have to swatch on my hand, and I can't find my makeup removal wipes. I know I left like packs of them here, but now they've just magically disappeared, so I need to go to CVS and get some more while I have like coupons and free money or whatever. So that way I have some to wipe off swatches, because right now I have nothing. Now we're going to take the shade Haze that I showed you on this from LYS Cosmetics. And see what I'm saying? Like the shades look exactly the same. Like if I look at that, they look exactly the same. You already have the palette. You might not have needed them. And the funny thing is, I haven't seen anybody compare Gemini 2 to this palette, which I don't understand because they have like very similar color stories. They extremely similar color stories. Even down to this. Now, I feel like this one is just a tad bit lighter than this one, but again, on my eyes right now, could you really tell it was a tad bit lighter? Besides me saying it, could you really see that this was a little bit lighter than this one? I don't feel like you could. I just don't. Sorry, I don't. Put that brush on that side so I know which one is for which eye. Next, we're going to take the shade in the Gemini 2 palette. It's called Lovesick, and I remember swatching this for you all alongside the Lovesick shade that they have in the Lovesick stack. And as you can see, it's now these are where the shades aren't going to be the same because I had to mix 2 shades in LYS Cosmetics palette to make it the same. But only bad part is because it's so deep and the other one was deeper, I feel like they're just blending into each other. But I feel like you can see a little bit of the difference with this one because this one is a little bit more red, and I feel like that one's a little bit more like plummy purple based on the outer V. So I was hoping you could see a difference, and on camera I can't, so I'm hoping that means you can too. Let me just say this is made by Mitchell. Brush, this is one of my favorite brushes, and the brush is always like sold out. You see how it's perfectly fit into the crease, and if you don't like animal hair brushes, I feel like it'd be good for you. So here's a suggestion, girl. Then we're going to take the shade. So this is the 2 I told you I had to mix Tragic Love and Snakebite to try to make it dark enough, and it still isn't necessarily dark enough, but it's what I gotta work with, girl. So that's what I'm gonna work with, okay? This is all I got. I gotta work with what's in the palette. And you can clearly see a difference between these 2. But I actually like the color in the LYS Cosmetics one, the one we're doing now, better than the milk one. But this is what I feel like gives it away. Like if this shade was just darker, I feel like if I mix that darker shade that we put in the outer V, it might help it, but it's like I don't want to, you know, like make it too dark then, and then it looks muddy and you can't tell the difference at all. So that's honestly to me what would give it away. I'm gonna just take a little bit of the remnants and see if it'll make a difference as far as the tone. So I just took the remnants that were left over from when I had swatched it on my hand for you all to see. And I don't feel like it's making too much of a difference, so I feel like I would have to like blend it in with that to, well, wait a minute. No, it's still quite a lot brighter than that, well, at least on camera and pictures it might look a little bit different, but still, it's still lighter than that, and you know, that's how you'd be able to tell that this did not look so far. But I feel like before, when we first started off, girl, you couldn't tell. When you put both them shades on the outer V, you could not tell. So next, we're gonna go into the shade Gemini. This one right here, Gemini. There's a match for it in the what is the palette? The Meet Me in the Underworld palette. So I figured it'd be a good dusting over shade. So I'm gonna dust over this here, like so. Cause I feel like it's still a little bit lighter than what we got going on. Airbrush effect to it, if you will. It's funny because when I see it on camera, I feel like it looks lighter, but then when I'm like blending it right here in front of my face, I feel like it looks deeper. I don't know. Point is, we doing it and we already here and it's too late. It's too late, y'all. It's too late. So now we're gonna take the shade Melody on the other eye and work with that. Yeah, see, the undertone of that one is different than the one we just put on. I feel like just a tad bit, so that's how you can, again, tell that it's starting to be 2 different eye looks. But I'm telling you, when you first start out, I feel like you literally could not tell at all. Those shades are like spot on dudes. But again, I like the LYS Cosmetics eye better because it's giving me a little lightness to deepness, whereas I feel like with the Melt one, it's like it just has to be deep always. And although the majority of the time I'm fine with having like a good majority of deep, I still want to have a little bit to brighten up with every now and again, and I don't feel like it's giving that, so that's my issue with it. Okay, so let's get some brushes for these shimmers on the lid. And the shimmers on the lid are obviously going to give it away as well because they're not going to be the same tone because they are 2 different shimmers from 2 different brands. Sorry y'all, I'm over here on the shoulder brush trying to find brush to use to put on my lid. So I'm just grabbing 2 random brushes, bro, I don't know. So I'm actually gonna start off with the LYS Cosmetics one this time. So I'm gonna take the shade Forest and start putting it on. I don't like the fact that I have to put this really deep shade on the lid, but it's like the melt one only had 2 shades, and of course the shades in the lowest one are lighter than the ones in the melt one because they gave you a lightness and depth, whereas melt did what it normally does, it just gives you depth. So you have to use this dark green on the lid. So I'm not necessarily excited about the way this look is looking, just because I'd rather have a bright shimmer on the lid than a deep one. But you know, I gotta work with what I got and try to make it look as similar as possible. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're doing with this look. So there you go. So this eye is pretty much done except for the inner corner. Now let's get into the Gemini palette and take the deepest green shade there. I think it's called Matthew. Sorry, let me see if we can actually see this on lid. As you can see, this one is deeper and more grungier. I feel like this is like a more deeper olivey-ish green tone, whereas since that was called Forest, it's obviously a more foresty green shimmer. But there's more sparkle and reflex in the melt one than there is in the LYS Cosmetics one. It just seems like it's more of a metallic, and this seems like a shimmery, glittery metallic shade. So there's that. But as you can see, they're giving similar effects. I'm gonna go back into this melt palette now, take Alex Queen again, and just let's work on my outer V just a little bit more there. And that's how we looking. I feel like they're looking quite similar, to be perfectly honest. If this wasn't a metallic and it didn't have a little bit brighter red tone in the inner corner, I would definitely think I had on the same palette. And that's crazy because LYS Cosmetics one, if I remember correctly, is only like €28.99, which I think is like 30 something in American dollars. Now let's go into the lowest one again and take the shade Orpheus, so we can get some brightness going on with the look, because right now we're just like a grungy tone queen. Put it on both sides because, you know, melt ain't got no color for me to have an inner corner highlight with, unless it's gonna be matte. And I already did the matte inner corner highlight with the initial review of their palette, so I don't need to be doing that too. So here are both the finished eye looks without eyeliner and mascara. But girl, tell me these don't look the same. They look the same. Just about. This one, it's just, like I said, you can see the more redness and brightness of the inner corner, of the crease shade. But y'all close up on me, and the only difference you see is this is more metallic and shimmery, and it has a little bit more of garnish to it because it doesn't have that brightish red shade. But otherwise, they look pretty much the same. And I actually like the Meet Me in the Underworld look better than I like this one. But I think it's because I can go lights to dark, and I have, you know, like lighter mattes in addition to deeper mattes, whereas Melt was just like grunge, 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 more grunge. And it's like, I like that, but I think it's because it's coming to spring and summer, I'm not liking that as much as I normally would be fine with it. If this had came out in the fall or the winter, I feel like I'd be way more fine. I'd be much more accepting of it than I am now, because it's like spring and moving into summer, and I'm like, but do I want brunch that time of year? I might when I'm going out at night, but you know, during the daytime I want to be, you know, I'd be more prone to using this one than I would this one, put it that way. So those are my thoughts, but let me know down below how similar it looks to you, because girl, I'm over here like, they look the same. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye. Save your coins.